It was a lot of balancing work.
Then you told me driving my trucks and shit. And I was like, damn, I need to get this guy out of there. You leave so early in the morning and then you come home so fucking late, bro. So you're working like what, 10-hour days?
Way longer than that.
Bro,
12, 13, 18-hour days. Everyone kind of looked at me like, what the fuck? They were in disbelief that I was leaving. They just could not believe you could make money online. When I first started, I was consistently doing about 6K per month. And then as soon as I talked to you about some of my bottlenecks, it exploded from there.
how did it feel when you hit that 18K month?
Pretty damn good. It happened just so fast. I look back at it, I'm like, holy fuck, I almost made 20 grand this month. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes and just take the dive.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Nathan Simon. We are going to be highlighting his success story and talking about how he scaled his online fitness coaching business. So, for those that don't know, who is Nathan and what do you do, man?
Online fitness coach. I help busy men try to get around their work schedules, see good results without having to spend all day in the gym, eat the foods that they do like, and yeah, see progress.
Hell yeah. And what's your business transformation?
So when I first started, I was consistently doing about 6K per month.
Mm.
I did that for maybe like two months, 3 months. And then as soon as I, talked to you about some of my bottlenecks, it exploded from there. I mean, the next month I did 12K, and then the month after that I did 17K. So it's been exponential ever since,
Yeah.
joining your program.
I love it, bro. I love it. And the whole goal of this video is just to kind of talk about highlight your success because you put in the work. You put in the work and you went from 6K to 17K. So triple the business, which is really decent. And I don't think this is anywhere close to where we could be. And I want to film this interview now, just talking about how you tripled the biz, and also talk about how we can actually like scale from where we are right now to 50K a month and everything and beyond. So yeah, I mean, run them through like what is the biggest change that you made that allowed for that growth, man?
Definitely building a team,
Mhm.
learning how to get my appointment setter to understand my ICP,
Yeah.
being able to get them to talk like me. And, I had a massive amount of lead flow, shortly after joining your program. So
Yeah.
it was really hard to kind of work around that every single day while still doing content. Now I have that fixed, and that's been like the main thing that's kind of skyrocketed my business for sure.
Yeah. Managing a team. And I mean, you've been running this offer for quite some time before we met, and you were stagnant in six. Why do you think you couldn't solve that on your own?
I definitely think that like I understood everything about like nutrition. Um, I understood how to make content that grabbed people's attention, but I think that you really do a really good job of making content that can help convert people into leads and also grab their attention at the same time.
Mm.
So I think that that's a big thing that really changed.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. And um, I say this all the time. It's like you're the one that put in the work, and so you deserve all the credit. But at the same time, we just helped you get there faster. I think you would have maybe gotten to where you are right now. Maybe in a few months, maybe in a few years, but we helped you get there in like a very very short time span, and that's what we do. That's what we do, and
Mhm.
so I'm really glad that we're in a position where you are just scaling up the way that you are, and you're making the moves that you're making. And the perfect part is that your content blew up while you were as soon as you joined, which made
Yeah.
everything easier. Talk about that, bro. What did you change in the content that allowed for you to blow up besides the shirt?
So it was a lot of the shirts, but also, I mean, um, biggest thing was just making content that was directly talking to my ICP. I made content about how I personally have worked 80 hours per week and was still able to see good results. That was something that you really clarified for me. And also content that pre-handled a lot of objections that I was going to be getting on sales calls. But that was a huge one. Going into sales calls, that's the last thing I want to do is just be battling back and forth with somebody I'm trying to help. So content like that really has really been fundamental in allowing me to grow.
100%, bro. And I think for you, you were great at getting top of funnel like attention, and even for a lot of people that's hard. But what you needed to improve was the middle funnel aspect, where it was a trust building. How can Nathan actually help me get from point A to point B? Is he the person that I want to go to? And I remember we had this call, and I was like, at the time you were working a truck driving job. I want to talk more about that as well. And I was like, bro, why are you not talking about that? Because the fact that you have this physique while driving 10 hours a day, that is like no excuse for anybody that has a job, anyone that works corporate, for them to say, oh, I can't do this, because I know for a lot, I've worked with a lot of fitness coaches. One thing they say is like, oh, people just say that I'm in shape because this is my job. And I was like, bro, that's the angle that Nathan could leverage. Like, people say that, oh, you're a fitness influencer. Of course you can get in shape. This is your fucking job. This is your whole life, you know? And when you told me that you were working that truck driving job, I was like, okay, that's a unique mechanism and a strong point that we can leverage to our advantage. Whereas like I don't do this full time. You're not going to do this full time. Like let me show you how to do this in 1 hour a day or in 3 days of the week, and I think that one really crushed for you. What else do you think did really well for you?
I mean, definitely that. In terms of growing my page, I
Yeah.
mean, just showing my personality, I never really did that before. I mean, just you allowed me to just you made me understand that people can see through bullshit. So the
Mhm.
more genuine you are, the more people will trust you and the more they'll want to talk to you and hop on calls with you and
Yeah.
possibly become clients. Definitely, I think I was holding back a lot of my personality.
Yeah.
So then I started wearing shirts that said I love being black women. And but definitely branching out and just learning to be myself, and it made content creation even less stressful itself too. Because I
Literally,
didn't
bro.
have to script out this facade. I
Yeah.
was actually able to be myself.
And I remember when you first joined, like I looked at your page and then I hopped on a call with you and you're like, you guys are two different people. I'm like, the
Yeah.
Nathan I know is actually funny and he actually jokes around, he has a laugh at himself. And the Nathan that I see on the personal brand is just all serious and shit. And I told you like why like you need to show more of your personality because people buy into like people don't buy coaches people don't buy coaching, they buy coaches, right?
Mhm.
And I really wanted to emphasize the point because I knew you had a personality that was magnetic and would attract a lot of people. And I was like, dude, stop trying to put on this facade. Stop trying to put on this mask of like being this professional guy that you're not. If you're not professional, own it. Fucking own that shit. And just show your personality and show what you do and everything. I don't think you even talked much about your job as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you didn't talk much about your job because you thought that, oh, that would decrease my credibility. But in my eyes, it was like, no, that shit increases your credibility because you're maintaining this physique while working the same amount of hours as them. You're one of them, you just figured out a secret that they don't know yet and they have to pay you for it. And that's what it was, man. And then talk about the moment that you implemented your personality, you wore the shirts, you talked about your job. What happened with the social media?
So I posted specifically, there's one video where I talked about how I matched with a girl, and
Yeah.
then she saw me run across her For You page like a gorilla. And then I was like, I think I'm just gonna stay a small YouTuber. And I was like, I'm just gonna stay super niche. And I said, so don't fucking follow me. And the internet being a bunch of assholes that they are, they all followed me. So I
Yeah.
gained close to 70,000 followers in a month.
70,000 followers in a fucking month, man. Like that's insane. And it's just you talking about shit that's happening in your life. You having fun. And I'm sure for you now, content is so much more fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's way more fun, way less stressful. I mean, it's definitely like it doesn't even feel like a job.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how it always should be. That's how it always should be. And I think for you, it's like, bro, we don't even need to have this whole facade on where it's like, we need to try this, we need to do this. Like, no, let's just have fucking fun. Let's just have fun, do what we got to do. And the more fun you can have in content, the better the content performs. And I see so many people, they try to force like a specific type of reel where it's like, oh, I just need to give value. And you were doing that shit, bro. You were really
Hmm.
doing that shit. Like I remember when I first looked at your page and you first joined, I was like, bro, you're too you sound way more sophisticated and way more expert in your reels than you do in real life. And I'm like, it doesn't sound like Nathan. It doesn't. And I'm sure like when people hop on calls with you, they'd expect this version of Nathan where it's like, oh, super professional, super, formal guy, but then in reality, he's just a chill dude that just jack the shit.
It runs across the screens like a gorilla.
But that's what it is. And I'm like, bro, we could really just scale this to the next level. I knew we can. And so I'm really excited to see where we can take this stuff and everything. And so, what was the main frustration that you felt when you were stuck at that 6K much more? Because you were still working the truck driving job. You couldn't quit it just yet, right?
It was a lot of balancing work, but I was stuck on just trying to pump out as much content as possible, just trying to deliver as much value as possible. But then I wasn't handling that middle funnel nearly as much as I should have been. And,
Mm,
I doubled down on that and, you know, worked with like an appointment setter and stuff like that. Lead flow was still coming in like crazy. And yeah, that was definitely the biggest bottleneck for sure. And then I was still able to do content. I was able to pull like a bigger lever on content to, really double down on that.
yeah, yeah. And I think the content and the appointment center was probably like the two main things that you pulled in order to take it to the next level. How did it feel when you hit that 18K month, man?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it until I like, because it happened so fast. It
yeah,
happened just so fast. I look back at it, I'm like, holy fuck, I almost made 20 grand this month.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
the money you ever touched in your life, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's by far the best month I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah. And how did it feel when you put in that resignation letter for your job?
Really good. Everyone kind of looked at me like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah,
they just looked at me and they were in disbelief that I was leaving. And yeah, they all asked me if I was, going to work some other trucking job or something like that. They just could not believe that, you could make money online as like a coach or, anything small like that, right?
yeah,
But, it's definitely possible. You just have to have the right systems and the right people guiding you.
yeah. Man, that must have felt good, bro. Like, no, I'm not applying for another job, bro.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own thing. I'm running my own business. That must have felt
Yeah.
really, really good. What was the first thing that you did when you hit that big month? Did you buy anything? Did you go out? What did you do?
I did. I didn't really buy anything. I do, and I am gonna listen to you. I'm gonna go get a tattoo because I've been looking to try to get a tattoo here recently. But yeah, that's gonna be goal number one. I want to finish out this month strong and then definitely going to get that tattoo. Kind of gamify everything.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I love it. I love it. Did you go to the bar, the clubs, or anything? Because I know you're a
Yeah,
big
I
guy.
yeah, I actually am probably gonna go to Oktoberfest at the end of this month.
Oh
So or at the
shit.
beginning of next month. Yeah.
That's sick.
So
Wait, in Germany?
yep, Munich, Germany.
Holy shit, bro. When's the last time you
I've
traveled
been
the country, man?
in November, I went to Switzerland,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that's the only time I've ever been outside of the US and Canada, like other than that. And Germany's, Oktoberfest has been something I've been wanting to do my whole life. So now I'm able to actually do that.
Yeah. Crazy, huh? And the thing is, like 18K is really it's a lot of money. Like, we're in the online space, so we're always exposed to like 100K a month, 200K, like that's what it is. But if you look at it on the surface level, 18K a month, you can live a very good fucking life. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you
Yeah.
want as long as you sustain that. And I'm glad you're able to do all this shit, man. Because yeah, man, like you deserve it all. You put in the work, you made it happen, and where we're here now. So, and the cool thing is, this is the only beginning. This is like just the start of what we can do. And now that you have all those followers, we haven't even monetized them fully. We haven't
Hmm.
monetized them fully at all. So I'm very excited to see what we can cook up and take it from there. So yeah, what was obviously the two levers we solved was the appointment setting and the content, right? But before that, you didn't even know like what your problem was. And so what got you to join? Because 6K a month, you're comfortable, you're kind of coasting, you're doing well for yourself. What got you to join even though you're making a good amount of money already? Like, what was the tipping point for you?
So I was definitely like doing 6K, but it was not enough for me to live comfortably, like compared to like my job. Um, and when I saw all the stuff that you had to offer, I mean, it was almost a no-brainer. I mean, I ROI'd what I put into this, program pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it seemed like there was just a very low sort of rate of failure or like possibility of failure.
yeah,
So, I mean, everything was kind of just in place to just pull the trigger on something like a little bit higher ticket to be able to actually have a higher ticket sort of income.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I think like when you just watch my content and when people hop on the calls, you personally joined through Jacob, right? And Jacob told me like, bro, you just had no objections and you were like, you already bought in. You knew that this was a program for you from day one and you made it.
Mhm.
And here we are, like 3, 4 months later and you've already scaled this much. So I want to ask you this because I love thinking about where you would be if you didn't join. So if you didn't join, and you kept on doing what you were doing, where do you think you would have been?
Probably still at the trucking job. I might have skirted away with a lucky 10K, but
Yeah,
that's definitely not guaranteed. But I probably would still be at that trucking job right now and
yeah,
probably would be working 6, 7 days a week right now,
yeah.
like 12 plus hour days. So
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how life works. And I remember when you first joined, I was like, why are you not attending calls? And then you told me, dude, I'm on a job.
yeah,
I'm driving my trucks and shit. And I was like, damn, I need to get this guy out of there. And so we gave you a lot of actionable plans that you could implement outside of the trucking job. And you couldn't join the group calls, and the one-on-one calls were hard times as well. So we just had to make it work, because you'd come home, you'd leave so early in the morning, and then you'd come home so fucking late, bro. It was insane.
yeah,
And the fact that you made it work, even though you had a job like that, even though you're working like what, 10-hour days? Something
way
like
more
that.
than way longer than that. Like
Bro,
12, 13, 18 hour days.
ridiculous. And you still made it work, bro. What the
Yeah.
fuck? You know? So that just goes to show, if you want it bad enough, you can. You just need the right
Hmm.
guidance and the right people to get you there.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about the program out of everything? Is it the coaches? Is it the one-on-one calls, the group calls? Like, what is it?
It's definitely the one-on-one calls. I mean, you just every single week, I mean, you and Jacob are both just dropping some insane sauce in there. And, it's actually very actionable stuff too. Like it's stuff that I can implement like today sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely the calls are the really big sort of lever. And
Yeah.
then just getting constant feedback on how I can improve. That's also another big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and then just the accountability too. I mean, just seeing, that I was working a ton and, you're reaching out and being able to help me regardless of my schedule was a
Yeah.
huge help as well.
Yeah. And I'd say like that big thing for you was accountability, because I knew you could do it, like you're a go-getter, you work hard, but you had so much shit going on in your personal life, like the truck stuff, that it was hard to actually keep on track and stay accountable. So it's crazy. Like I remember, like I was always asking you and everything, like why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? And I told you there's no fucking excuse. If you want to keep on working the truck job, then keep giving yourself that excuse. And I held you accountable. And for you, that's what you needed. The same way that you hold your clients accountable, I held you accountable, and then we gave you the setters when you did hold yourself accountable so that you can scale up. And here we are. So
Hmm.
if someone's stuck in that same spot where they're working a long job, they're stuck at where you were, maybe 5, 6K a month, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to them?
I mean, if they are stuck at that spot, I mean, you can't keep on doing the same shit. You have to change something. And, if they are an online coach, I mean, that's the exact reason why people reach out to you is
Yeah.
for your help, your guidance. So, there's nothing different in, getting consulting from anybody else.
Mhm.
It speed tracks all the stuff that you're teaching, just like how somebody else will be teaching you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Right.
Yeah.
And the last one, man, if anyone is on the fence about joining Consulting Mastery, they've been watching the videos, they're like, damn, this guy gets good results. And they're on the fence, they're really unsure. What is something that you'd say to them?
I mean, just sometimes you just have to close your eyes and just take the dive and you'll learn to swim. Like that's like it's going to be scary to do, but you have the right people on the other side of that to be able to help you swim, to make sure that you don't drown, to make sure that you are going to be going in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, I love that, bro. I love that. And it's always the hardest decisions it's the decisions that are hardest to make that lead to the most growth. And I'm sure for you, when you got on that program, like, bro, you were scared fucking shitless, huh? You're like, what if this doesn't work out? There's so many limiting beliefs holding you back, because you were on a subscription as well, a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, what if I don't make it back? What if I don't do this? What made you pull that trigger? It was like you just knew that this is something that you had to do to take it to the next level, or
Yeah, I mean, there's never going to be a regret in investing in yourself, and I think that that's something that a lot of people need to realize is that, there's always a S&P and, S&P, but then there's a SME 500, sort of like Alex Hormozy says.
I love it.
There's never going to be a regret in investing in new skills in yourself ever.
I love it, bro. I love it. And literally that's still the advice I'm implementing. That's the advice I'm listening to like right now. Like people talk about, oh, I'm scared of investing, bro. Like I've personally spent like 40 to 60K this month alone, on mentorships and everything. There's levels to this shit. I'm trying to reach 300 to 500K a month, and if you're stuck at that five-figure mark and you want to scale, you gotta take a leap of faith. It's not everything is free in this world, and yeah, it's just everything you said is just spot on, man. So Nathan, super glad that we could run this interview. Super happy for your success. Where can they find you?
Nathan Simon or Nathan P. Simon on all platforms.
Yes, sir. I say this all the time. Like your content is literally my favorite. I don't skip your fucking reels, bro. And it's because you show that personality. So go drop him a follow, guys. Go DM him if you have any questions. And appreciate you, Nathan. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.